So what about nines and sixes in relationships? Neither of these are heart types, so it's a different kind of relationship. What's happening here?
This is security meets stability. So again, like if you're, what do they both want? One wants security, the other wants stability. So this is what this can look like. I mean, they can work quite well together because those two characteristics can be quite, harmonious. This is a couple that maybe really likes their routine and kind of plays it safe and has thought things through. And, it's not the couple that's shocking everybody most of the time. What they've got to watch out for is inertia. So the 9 loves their routine and doesn't want to change because they like harmony. The 6 is kind of afraid of change because, hey, that's the unknown and that feels pretty uncomfortable. So there can be a way where this is a couple that almost just slides into inertia and they're barely even having a relationship. They're just doing the things that they've always done. Can also be a couple where maybe unfulfilling jobs go on longer than you might expect. Unfulfilling, or toxic relationships around the couple go on longer than you would expect because no one's going to really call it out and say, hey, this is a problem. So that can be what is happening. And then that's kind of externally within the two of them. If they're in a really stressful situation, the anxiety of a 6 can be really triggering. They might come at the 9 wanting change, like wanting something, and the 9 is going to get passive aggressive and kind of stonewall. And this can start the thing where the 6 gets more anxious and the 9 retreats even more. And this starts that polarization that can be a problem. So that can be what this combination looks like. Like any type, it can be, tremendously balancing, or it can be quite difficult. It just sort of depends, again, on the level of awareness. And that's what you're always looking for. The couples that have the highest chance, not to stay together, but to stay together successfully, are really working on keeping their awareness high, their self-awareness high. So they understand, this is why I'm behaving the way I am. And they can also talk about why their partner is behaving the way they are from a deep kind of fundamental level. So.
And so when the 6 and the 9 are both, when that anxiety is high and when the 9's really withdrawn, how do they start to come out of that pattern? Is it something that happens within the relationship? Does it have to be something that happens outside of the relationship?
Yeah, it's kind of the classic self-growth stuff. A 9 ideally can engage in healthy conflict. So they maybe say, hey, we've got a problem here. The 6 starts to look at their own anxiety and think, okay, like I've got to deal with this. So it's pretty much both of them kind of working on themselves to get to the point where they can come to the table, because what's happening with this couple is they stop coming to the table. They're checked out, One of the couples was a 6 and a 9 that had been together for, had a 25-year marriage. For 20 years. It was a happy marriage. They were doing fine. And what happened is the woman who was the 9 ended up becoming the chairman of the board of her family business because her parents passed away. And this external event triggered the anxiety of the 6, and they never recovered from that. Like they just couldn't get it back. And they eventually split up. And she said it was the hardest thing she's ever done in her whole life because they had so many years together successfully, but the last piece was an absolute disaster. And again, it's just this person getting extremely triggered and not being able to manage it. So.
Wow.